back.
We are back. Hello.
Hello,
How's it
everyone out
going?
there.
Zach, you put a nice little label and all that, and I just put NIK there. I need to change my label.
Yeah, and lowercase as well. Yeah,
Yes, I need to pay more attention to that. So I got to do that.
I did it once and
Well,
did
it is great to be back. I am now back in Mountain View, California, and so happy to be here. I'm mostly done with my jet lag, except I didn't sleep at all last night because I'm working on this white paper.
Yeah,
So
that was gonna be my question. Was how are you feeling with jet? Like how? So at least 2-3 days of jet lag. Yeah, it's gotta be pretty brutal.
yeah, well, it is what it is. I get over it pretty quickly. The secret is sunshine, except it's been raining the past couple of days, so there hasn't
Same.
been much sunshine.
My backyard's
But
a mud pit right now.
yeah, but I'm very happy to be home with the family, as I think everyone is. These are the days, holidays where uh, you make memories. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. I had a really good Christmas. It was like the first Christmas in recent history where like my family didn't fight and there wasn't a lot of stress, which is awesome. My mom always guilt trips me. I am a mama's boy. I love my mom. She was a single mother raising me for a while, so um, shout out to my mom. But she was like, you could visit more. I'm like, I'm in my 30s, mom. I'm trying to like live my own life here, but you can call me. I love you. But it was a really good Christmas. I had a lot of fun. Saw all my brothers and sisters. I got 6 of them, so I got a bunch of them. Uh,
6. Wow,
yeah,
that's
three on moms, 3 on dads. My mom actually had triplets.
oh wow.
Yeah, so and they're 25,
Yeah,
and
I got a lot of presents to give.
yeah, I spent way too much money on Christmas, but I did get my little brother, who has cerebral palsy, who's like, you never know what to get him because like I just don't know. But I went big this year and I got him like his favorite baseball player retired this year, and I got him an autographed jersey from Miguel Cabrera. So he was like, "Whoa!" So I love giving gifts. I hate receiving them because I'll just buy them myself if I want
Yeah.
them.
Well, I scheduled my flight back for Christmas Eve so I could be here with my family, and I got some good gifts. But I think my daughter, she's a funny one, and she knows how much I dislike Priuses. And no offense to anyone who drives Prius, I don't have anything against you. I just have a problem with people who drive slowly in front of me. Anyway, so I'm doing art T-shirts now. That's my thing. So in fact, like here, see, like that's the girl with the pearl earring, etc. So she got me this beautiful art T-shirt. But instead of giving me the T-shirt, what she did is she made a complete replica, like cardboard replica of a Prius, and then you open the trunk, and in it is a little cutout T-shirt. It was so creative, but she is so funny, But I really like that. That
That
was
is funny.
really
Yeah.
cool.
I say the highlight I got a blender. I got a blender, so I'm doing smoothies in the morning. Some nice green smoothies and some nice fruit in the morning. So I'll be using that until it blows up, I bet. But it's a nice one too. My little sister went all out. I'm pretty happy about it.
Well, let's see how you do on that. How long you can sustain, because those things are easy to get started on. All the
Oh, I
energy,
know.
all the enthusiasm, but then it's like, do I have to do that today?
No, I know. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I told you this, but I used to be like big into bodybuilding. One of my old roommates was a professional bodybuilder, and like pre-COVID me was hitting the gym every day, and like I was huge, and I want to get back to like a happy medium of that. Working at home, sitting in front of a desk, you don't think about it as much anymore. So I'm like, all right, come on, Zach, let's get back those healthy habits. Like, let's just
Look,
do.
Kelly is my man there. He's going, what is up with Chris? Everyone I see is doing 15 to 20 miles per hour under the speed limit in front of me all day, every day. Yes, I'm late. Every time I'm late, blaming on a priest. You
we
know?
should we should do a poet for the Prius Hater Club of the Tribute Chain.
Yeah. Now, I live very close to this company called Neuro. So they're doing self-driving robots for food delivery, right?
Mhm.
Right. So guess what they did recently? They switched their entire line of cars to all Prius. So every morning now it's like this fleet of Neuro Priuses all around our neighborhood. I'm like, oh my god, is there no other? That's the worst way to torture me. You know.
Yeah, they did it just because of
Let's get
you.
going here. I gotta share my screen. We are at a milestone
Yeah,
here.
this is the season finale of season 1, coming back
Well,
next
more
year. We'll be
importantly, this means 16 weeks. 16 weeks on Fridays. We've been talking for a couple of hours and presenting information to people, and this is great.
I mean, that's like a
I didn't
network
realize
show.
it.
That's like an invested network show. Like 16 episodes, it's no Grey's Anatomy, like where it's 23 episodes per season.
Yeah.
16 is a milestone for sure. But yeah, no, it's been an honor. I think I've been here since week 6 or week 7. So this is
Cool.
my 10th episode. So hit the double digits, and hopefully I'll be here for tens of dozens of more. So
Yeah. So next one we do in the new year will be season 2.
yeah, it will be.
And I think we basically stretched this one past a quarter, but what we'll do is do it quarterly in the coming year. So every quarter will be a new season. So we'll have 4 seasons, approximately 12 episodes per season.
Crypto Pride. Trying to do a couple hundred episodes. Yeah. So that's a lot to think
All right.
about. But
Let's
all
get
right,
going
I'll
here.
be in the background. Everyone in the chat behave. I am watching, and we will see you in a little bit.
Oh, before that, we have that piece of news to share.
Oh,
so please go follow the Vitruvio Chain Twitter today, because we are doing a bunch of Times Square artwork shows today, and you can watch the streams. So if you can, kindly go. Let's put a banner up there with @Vitruvio Chain so people know to follow that, and also to get your friends to follow. Because this is exciting for artists. It's great to see their artwork up there. So the Genesis artists, we're gonna be seeing them there. So that's exciting.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, and my dog in the background.
Yeah.
She's posted up, but yeah, no, follow our Twitter. There's lots of good content out there, and it's calm before the storm here. It's about to get real crazy. So
yep. All right, I think we can get going here. So all right, let's see. We are season 1, episode 16, December 29th. Welcome to another Vitruvio Download, the weekend review, where I, Nick Kalyani, the project lead, give you an update on everything that has transpired in the week prior. We already did a sort of a Discord earlier this week live, where we had 150 people, I think, show up. So that was great. But what I'm going to do is going to recap some of that news and also give you some more information. But what I really like doing on these downloads is answering questions live. So that's fun. All right. So let's start off with our first thing, which is a development update. So you see a lot of things here in orange. That's because we have gone beyond the start of now, and now we are at the final stages, getting stuff wrapped up. So I put Swapper in yellow there because it's already been released, but there's a second release of it coming. So we'll be talking about that a bit more. A Poet is been released in test, and we're just talking in a team meeting earlier today. And so I believe next week we'll start seeing it on mainnet, and you can create Poets. Poet stands for Proof of Engagement Token. That's the equivalent of what you might know on Ethereum as POAP. This is very exciting for us because it allows us to start engaging more of the community and giving tokens as reward on mainnet. Nexus is the big thing here, and we are working through the contracts. We are working through the code, NFTs, and we are ready to go with that very, very shortly. We are talking about single-digit days now. So also Vitru Studio, the alpha, the teams have been working on that quite a bit, and they're off for a few days for the holidays, but come Tuesday, going to re-engage, and we'll start onboarding our our Genesis artists. So we have approximately 900 so Genesis artists, and we're gonna get them on board in cohorts using Vitru Studio. We're gonna get their feedback on the software and improve it as it goes. But we won't be unleashing sort of the studio on all the artists until the Genesis artists have given us their feedback and we've had a chance to make sure that it works well for them. So this is the development update. Let's go on now to a major protocol enhancement. So as part of the Nexus development, we realized that on-chain in a Solidity smart contract, you can only get block information for a finite number of blocks looking back. Someone's going to correct me on this, but I think it's about 200. So you can't look past that. But on our protocol, with a block every 5 seconds, that 200 blocks goes by very quickly. So if you want to look further back and find out rebasing information on chain in a smart contract, you can't do that. So we've enhanced the protocol now, and we'll push that out with our RC2, where you can get rebasing data on chain. So this is really good for all smart contracts because any smart contract can query arbitrarily sort of the rebasing information. So that's a major protocol enhancement we've made. All right, let's go on now to a comparison. So a lot of people asked me to compare Vitru and Vitro. And by the way, folks, I apologize if I'm just jumping all over the place today and it's not as structured as before. As I mentioned at the top, been very focused on the white paper. Absolutely need to get that out today. And so it's been my absolute focus, and I really put this deck together at the last moment. So, all right, let's compare the two and make sure that everyone has a good understanding of what each token represents. So Vitru is the primary utility coin for the blockchain. It's a native cryptocurrency. So you can compare it to like ETH, Sol, Tez. That's a native cryptocurrency. Vitro is the primary token for our blockchain DEX, and you can compare that to Cake, Uni, Curve, etc. Now, the way Vitru accrues value is as more creators list and sell their works on Vitruvio and use it for all the transactions, that increases its usage. It increases its utility. And since there's a finite amount of it, therefore you will see its value increase over time. Vitro accrues value because we have a plan through a program called Vitruscape to onboard art institutions to create and trade custom tokens for their communities. So every art organization, whether it's a gallery, a museum, has artists, has patrons, has collectors, has the admin, and then, of course, the local community. So we want to make it possible for them to have the ability to, for example, create fractionalized art ownership. So if you're a gallery and you have a painting, maybe you want the community to own a part of it, etc. So you can do that with custom tokens. And that's going to happen on the DEX. And as we add more tokens on the DEX, there are more fees that are generated. And that's where the Vitro token becomes more meaningful because it accrues some of those fees. Vitru rebases approximately 4x, a little more than 4x actually. And the time period is indeterminate, but it would be approximately 5 to 7 years. Maybe faster 5 years. If things accelerate and the transaction goals are hit, then there should be no reason why we couldn't hit it in 5 years. Vitro does not rebase. For the Vitru holders, the initial Genesis holders, you can earn perks Vitru pro rata based on the Genesis allocation. And for Vitro, you can also earn perks Vitru, and you can earn DEX fees, a 0.05%, based upon your staked amount. So you have to stake Vitro in order to earn some of the benefits. Vitru will vest over 18 months. So we've got that. It could be less depending on your boosters and how you've accelerated your vesting. Vitro is unlocked. There's no vesting. It's fully ready to go as soon as it's dropped. All right. So that brings us to Swapper DApp version 2, which on Wednesday I kind of highlighted. We're holding it back right now. It's ready to go, but we're holding it back for one version. Is we basically want to have Swapper be the trigger for you to receive your coins. So let's step back first and look at what's in Swapper DApp version 2. First of all, there's functionality for validators to swap coins and validator independent of each other. So this was a problem. You could only push your validator to another account and not keep the coins, or move the coins to another wallet. If you want to do that, you couldn't do it. So that feature is in there now. The next feature is you're going to be able to choose your Vitro swap percentage. So you can choose anything from 0 to 100%, whatever you want, keeping in mind that the choice only affects your coins. It doesn't affect your perks or any rev share or anything you might be eligible for. That stays according to your original allocation. So the deadline is January 11th, 11:59 p.m. UTC. So that'll be um, uh, Jan 10th, I think, for us. But yeah, it'll be midnight UTC there. So the idea is that you have a choice until then to go and effectively, make your choice and then choose lock my choice. And when you do that, you will instantly receive three things. One, any vested Vitru coins that are owed to you will immediately show up in your wallet. Two, a Nexus NFT with a claim feature for additional Vitru will show up in your wallet. It also has a boost feature, so you can boost with any boosters that you have. So while that booster appears to be with the Nexus NFT, it's actually for the booster to choose which Nexus NFT to boost. So we'll get into that. We'll have a little guide, and I'll do a demo online, etc. So you can look at that. And then finally, any Vitro tokens that you've swapped, those will also show up there. So that's what we are looking to do. And as I mentioned earlier in the week, we are days away from doing that. So we are having the Nexus NFT work being completed right now. As soon as that's done, we feel comfortable with it. Boom, out goes Swapper. You make your choice, you hit lock, and you've got your tokens. So this would be in the next week. That's kind of what we are targeting. But because we are doing this at scale, the Nexus NFT is actually an NFT smart contract for a family of NFTs. It's not just Nexus, it's the validators, it's the dreamers, the artists, it's for the boosters, and so on. So there's about 9 different NFTs represented in that contract. So we just have to make sure they all work. But every one of those NFTs basically has a coin management. So your Vitru, you can see what's vested, what's locked, what's unlocked, and so on and so forth. It's got your perk management, so you can claim perks, etc. It's got your rev share management, and finally, it's got your governance. So you have credits, voting credits based upon your holdings. And so we won't have all these features done right away. We'll focus on the coin. That's the most important thing. And then gradually over the next few days after the initial release, we'll start releasing the additional features. But our priority is to get that NFT in your wallet, get those coins in your wallet, so that as we progress into January, we can get listed and actually have the Vitru token coin also trading. All right. Let's see. Let's go on here. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Vitro CEX listing. So we are targeting it a few days after the swapper closes on January 11th. So just a few days after that is our goal. Fingers crossed, exchanges don't throw up any roadblocks for us. But our intention is to list at 50 cents. We have a preliminary commitment received for liquidity. I'm working on getting all the paperwork around that done, etc. Generally, with fundraising, the approach that we'll be taking is until it's done, we won't make any sort of teaser announcements or anything like that. With fundraising, it's always you want to make sure that all the legal aspects are done, the funds are transferred, and all that before we get into that. Staking won't be available until after the DEX is launched. So when the DEX is launched, Vitro staking will also be available. All right, I'm going to look through these questions here and see if there's any that are pertinent here. Okay, here we go. Can the rebases from our validators do the Vitro swap as well? Yeah. The coins you have at this point, it isn't. There isn't any distinction made about whether it was a rebase or not. When you go into your validator right now, you should see, what is it, 2761, if I'm not mistaken, coins, and those are coins you can do whatever you want to, with them. Yep. How is Vitro getting funded? Well, we are raising capital. That's how it's getting funded. Weren't we supposed to have 30 days for the swap percent choice, considering that swapper is still not, there's around 12? Is that enough time for people? Yeah, you have 30 days. We announced that the swap would be would be available December 10th or 11th, something like that. So you had a full 30 days to decide on a 30-second decision. So the actual act of making your choice is not the relevant thing here. The relevant thing is you getting information and making an informed and educated choice. So all that Swapper 2 is doing is allowing you to actually execute your choice. So this is why we are waiting until January 11th. All right. Can you do a test transaction before you transfer your validator with the Swapper? I don't know why you would want to do that, because it works. People have done that. It just works. So if you have a problem of any kind, we can help you fix it. But I think you can safely do that. There's not going to be a problem. Right. The swap is one Vitro. No, the swap is two Vitros for one Vitro. All right. Thanks, Zach, for going through all those questions there. I see one more here. Can we swap any amount of Vitro for Vitro? Yeah, 0% to 100%. The whole thing is yours. You can swap whatever you want. Here's another question. Will all Vitro from a swap be staked, or does the user need to stake their Vitro? Yeah, initially there will not be any staking. When the DEX is launched, then we will have the staking feature. And so at that point, you will want to do the staking yourself. But until then, it's a free trading token on an exchange. All right, I'll continue, and then we can get back to some of these a little later. All right. All right. So let's do a booster sales update here. So when I last checked, it was at $704,000 raised for ongoing operating capital. Folks, this keeps coming up in the Discord, so I just want to keep on repeating it again and again. The whole point of the booster sales was to get some initial operating capital. So we are spending as we are going. This is how we are able to actually execute and do the things we are doing right now. So all this development that's going on, it costs money. All the marketing that's going on, it costs money. So that is operating capital. So as we are raising funds, we are being judicious in our expenses, of course, but that's what the capital is for. So when I last checked also, there were 4,412 boosters and 302 early birds. So this is good news for whoever's got a booster, because it was intended to be like 20,000 in total, but we have now moved to talking to investors who want a SAFT, and that's fine. A simple agreement for future token. It just means that there's going to be a significant amount of unused booster capacity, and what that means is the ones who hold boosters right now are going to end up with significantly more of everything. So, for example, the perks that were available were based for like 20,000, and now it's going to be that approximately 430 Vitru per booster holder is what you're going to get, which will rebase to over 2,150. That number, obviously, that 430, it's going to be slightly in flux based upon the distribution, but we do have a few super boosters in there, so that might be a little lower than that. The rev share is going to be significant because now we have $6,000 per million split among 4412 holders, and the early birds, there's just 302 as far as I can tell, and so that's $1,000 per a million in sales revenue split among those 302. So remember, the rev share is perpetual for the lifetime of the blockchain, forever. And so as we get into more art, and then music, and movies, and then books, etc., that sales revenue is going to grow, and so the booster holders will have more and more of that rev share. All right. Next up is a financial update. So as I just mentioned, the point of the boosters is operating capital. So the most recent multi-sig transaction was to pay for the Vitru Studio developers. So that's $20,000. We have our monthly PR agency retainer, and then we have all the cloud services that we use, everything from Google to Notion. We use a bunch of things for marketing, etc. All of those things, Zoom, all of those. And then we have a one-time expense here. So we're gonna start paying the folks who are working on the listing and also the actual exchanges, etc. So you're gonna see this come in tranches. So the first tranche here was around getting the Vitro token listed. So it's not fully done yet. There's going to be a little more cost to that, but that's been paid. So that was the multi-sig transaction that you saw earlier this week. So just so we know, the multi-sig is the Senate. So we have a majority of the senators, in this case, 7, who have to sign every transaction. So that's our financial update. We are sort of being very cautious about that. And in fact, we haven't done payroll. We skipped a payroll because we want to make sure that we have sort of healthy little fund remaining to handle things like liquidity, etc., and all those kind of costs, etc. So the team has very graciously agreed to wait on their payroll. So once we get into January and we start seeing some of the funds come in from the investor conversations we are doing with folks in Dubai, and also some of the liquidity capital come in, we can go back and play catch up on some of those liabilities. All right, a quick Senate update. So the Greek has resigned his seat. I think there was some discussion about this. So I want to thank him for his service. Really, really appreciate it. I met him first about a year ago, and I'm very grateful that he's been on the team. So now the next step for that is that the Ecosystem Council will organize the process for accepting nominations for that Senate seat that is now vacated. We'll do a community vote and get a senator on board here for that. So again, thank you very much, Greek, for your service. Much appreciated. Okay, now I want to give a big surprise to the validators. So since we have planned some rev share bonuses for boosters based on milestones, but I don't think we are going to hit those milestones. So there's some rev share available. And so what I'm very, very pleased to announce that we're going to increase the rev share for the validators from 35% to 45%. We're basically going to take some of that booster milestone bonus and put it back to validators. Why? Look, at the end of the day, this blockchain is dependent on validators being present and running their nodes. Without them, we don't have a secure blockchain. So I want to make sure that validators are well compensated for their efforts and their expenses. We know that it's going to be a little bit of time before the sales kick in and the rev share income kicks in. I understand that. And so I'll continue to work with the validator team to ensure that we come up with programs and means to ensure that uh, we have a healthy validator ecosystem. So very glad for that. And also the second benefit is we've set aside 1 million Vitro tokens to be divided 2,000 per validator, but that's contingent on 400 validators coming online. So we have now started the process. At least I got an update from tech team on they've started to document what the validator requirements are. I owe to Baron an orientation around Synapse so we can get the KYCs going. So I just have been a little behind on that because I've been trying to get some of these investor related things going, but I'll make sure it's done this weekend so that in the new year we can start formally the process of onboarding the validators, and then get as many of them online as quickly as we can. We do want to do it in a structured way. It does require effort because as more come online, the ones that are existing have to sign and approve, basically vote for the new ones to come on board. That's the process. So it takes a little bit of time, but we got a cool VTech team that will lead that effort and help things move forward. So I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to smoothly onboard a number of the validators. So thank you, all of you who are validators here. I'm very, very grateful for you because you will essentially be securing the network, and I hope you see this as a positive to have your rev share increase by 10%. All right, so now what I want to do is do something I did in a download a few weeks ago, where I just had these questions on slides and started answering them. So I have a few questions, and then I'm going to take some more questions on the fly. So let's start with what is the plan for Vitru. So as I expressed earlier, very shortly, in a few days, you're going to be able to hit a button on the swapper, and you're going to have Vitru dropped into your wallet. Our goal is that as soon as we have enough liquidity capital in the treasury to have Vitru listed. So that's it. So it's the only impediment to listing Vitru is the milestone of having enough liquidity capital in our treasury. So we do that and we get going. So we are still looking very good for January. So the only issue there is we want to make sure that we have resolved all issues around the wrapped Vitru token, because see, most exchanges don't have the ability to list a rebasing coin. They just don't. When we last spoke to them, they had said it would be as much as 3 months to get that integrated. And so the only way that's going to happen is with a wrap token. So the actual token that's going to be listed is not VTRU, but WVTRU. And that's because technically it is not possible to do the Vitru because of rebasing. So we just want to make sure that we've got that well thought out. And as I expressed earlier, we are currently working through that. So we're still looking at January. I don't see any impediments at the moment, but as we get closer to the middle of Jan, I'll have better information for you. But our goal is to get this listed as soon as possible, no delays. All right. The next question is related to artists, because we now have artists also sort of watching our streams here. So when will Genesis artists be onboarded? So the game plan here is to have Vitru Studio Alpha, which I expect will be available sometime next week, to bring Genesis artists on in small batches. So we'll get a few of them on, they test out the process, give us some feedback. We feel more confident, we'll invite some more. And as we get more confident, we'll invite all of them. So there's 900 plus of them, and we don't want to get them all on board at once and then find out there's a big problem, etc. That's why we're going to do it in batches. The next question is, when will Vitruvio be open to all artists? So this is a question I see all the time on Twitter, well, X. So our goal is to refine our Vitru Studio with the Genesis artists and once they are comfortable, once everything is working smoothly, then we will release the Vitru Studio to artists in general. However, even then, it won't be a free for all. We're going to have a gated mechanism by which we will invite artists in batches on there. In addition to Vitru Studio, we do need to have our Vitru store. So we're going to have a rudimentary version of that. So you can think of that as an NFT marketplace, but it's a different marketplace than exists, say, on Ethereum or Solana, etc., because those marketplaces are designed for artists to go and mint and then sell. Ours is different. On Vitru, the Vitru store, it's merely aggregating the listing, because on Vitruvio, artists don't mint. They consign their work to the blockchain, and then any and all marketplaces that exist on the blockchain can go and get all those listings and show whatever subset of them they want to show. So it's a slightly different model. We have to educate artists about it and show them how this is new, different, and better for them. It solves all the problems associated with minting, marketing, etc., that artists face with right now. So those are all the things that we'll be contending with. So my prediction is that it will be February. I don't know exactly when. That's up to Fer, the lead of our creator council. But my best guess is that it'll be February before we start opening it up to all artists. All right. So yeah. So that was the last question there. So Zach, let's come on here and let's start taking some more questions.
Got you. All right, let's see. Let's start from that one. Already asked. Already asked that one. Just getting rid of some of these. Okay. Someone was asking if you could elaborate more on the 32K for the exchange/liquidity fundraising expense.
Yeah, it's basically the fees paid to the consultants working on it. So that's it.
This was from our Discord. Thank you, Biz, for translating these over. Will UXI holders or Vitro holders be included in the swapper in the total amount of Vitro?
So the swap, I'm sorry, I had to think about this a little bit, make sure I answer it correctly. So the swapper is to go from Vitru to Vitro. So if you were an UXI sacrificer, you have an allocation of Vitro that is yours. That's already gone through a multiplier in order to balance it out for the current cap table. So that's not going to change. So I don't see Vitro holders in swapper, because that's really a Vitru and Vitru to Vitro swap. So Biz, ping me if I didn't answer your question, but yeah, it's only intended for Vitru to Vitro. If you're a Vitro holder, your tokens are good. You've got them. Those will be auto dropped to you on.
It won't be any. There's no need to swap, because all we're asking is Vitru to Vitro.
Yep, basically.
All right. Someone asked.
Oh, yeah, actually, that does. So that list of I forget how many users it was. I have to go look in the. What was it, like 300 or so, Zach? Do you remember how many there? Maybe a little bit more. But those, when we deploy that Vitro contract, we will airdrop your Vitro tokens to you. So if you were a sacrificer, boom, you just get those.
Someone's asking if we get like a 48-hour notice on the booster sales, if when we cut that off.
Yeah, we'll do that. Look, tentatively, I haven't made up my mind on this, because we want to make sure that we balance a lot of different things. But I think we'll do it at the same time we close the swapper.
So like the 9th would be your 48-hour.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Another biz question: will the 45%, the increase for the valid? That's not a 45% increase, but I get what you're saying. The increase to 45% for the validators be for a lifetime, or will it decrease annually?
Well, if you wanted to decrease annually, Biz, we can do it for you, but the intent was perpetuity forever.
And I believe the reason for that was, we're doing the safes with all these VCs where they're not included in the booster sales, and so we thought it would only be fair to now bring back the validators a little piece of that pie.
Yep.
So, Nick, when the Vitru Studio is completed testing, what will happen next for artists? Will sales driven will start? We'll say.
Yeah. So we'll announce a date where, first said the other day, like we've got only 900 of these initial Genesis artworks, and we've got 4,400 booster holders. So you are eligible to go grab one of those because you have a credit. You'll have a credit in your account to go grab it. So we will announce a date when that Vitru store page is up, and that will be for the Genesis. So that's a special thing. But then for the next cohort that comes on board, there we will add the custom licenses, etc., so they can set their own prices and things like that. So when we do that, what's going to happen is that as a booster holder, you can still go buy, but it will work kind of like a gift card at that point, as you've got a credit in your account for 100 Vitrus. You can use that to buy one artwork, 10 artworks. It doesn't really matter, whatever it is, and go from there. So we'll move to basically a real marketplace model where anyone can come and buy with the Vitrus.
Next, we got, will the artist, the Genesis, I'm assuming this is one of our artists, how will artists be contacted via Discord or email? And I believe the answer is email.
Yeah, basically Vitru Studio is being set up with email as the primary. So you can create an account, your creator account, which you can have multiple emails associated with it, and you can have multiple wallets associated with it. But email is the primary, and because we just wanted to be very friendly for Web 2 artists, and not get into this decentralized maxi mode where you have wallet address and you're screwed because you can't contact anybody. You can't send them a newsletter telling them here are the new features to try out and all that. So email is going to be it. Yeah.
When are we getting a new updated calculator spreadsheet for Vitru?
Yeah, someone asked about this. I'm so sorry. This white paper's taken a priority. So right after that's done, we'll focus on the calculator and get that out also. I know a lot of people want that, and it's useful for you, but just have to prioritize things according to the business need. And the business need right now is to make investors satisfied with their wants, and their want is the white paper.
I'm in the process of buying a full node from a seller. Do I need to wait for the Swapper 2.0 to proceed with the transfer, or can I sell using the Swapper as I make the transfer?
Yeah, I mean, the validator transfer works directly. If you feel uncomfortable using the Swapper, go talk to Baron. Baron will contact me, and I will help orchestrate that for you. But you can use the Swapper directly also. Whatever your comfort level is. I know it's a big deal. So if you would prefer to talk to Baron and have him, work with me to do that for you, we can do that. No problem.
That's a funny comment. Just looking through all these new ones that have been coming in.
I like AA's comment.
Yeah, that's what I laughed at.
Can we close the booster sale soon? Next week works for me. I'm an early bird, and the current 300 early bird number is looking good. All right. Yeah, well, close enough, So I can address this one. Here, I purchased 27.23 UXI. Now it shows over 1360 Vitro. Can someone explain, please? It's just been recapitalized. It's math. Basically, a multiplier has been applied in order to get the cap table so that there's more tokens available for different categories. That's all. So from a value standpoint, it should still be about the same. All right, my friend Lighty Shut, an artist. By the way, so I want to tell a story about Lighty Shut. It's funny and interesting and also very cool. So Lighty Shot does uh, makeup. She does, as you can see from her profile picture there, she does incredible makeup. So she says, Nick, challenge me to do something. So I'm like, all right. So I like this. I like Star Trek. I'm a Trekkie, and I like in particular Locutus, which is Picard's character as the Borg, right? So I said, all right, how about you do half uh, Locutus, the Borg, and half sort of pop art, you know? So she did an amazing job. And Lady, if you can respond in the comment with the link here, we'll pull it up and show people that, because you did such an amazing job. And then she made it into an NFT and I collected it. All right. But her question now is, having boosters by artists can affect the marketing from your side, like getting more exposure? No. Look, we are building Vitruvio to align the interests of crypto investors and artists. Our goal is to have artists have a sustainable income through art. You should not spend any money. The boosters are for crypto investors. They are not for artists. You create art. That's it. So hopefully Lady Shut will post her link, and then we can look at her cool thing. So crypto proj need to work. I don't know.
So we need to hire. We need to have a consultant in order to get listed on a centralized exchange.
Yeah, that's how you do. You work with professionals to get things done. Yes. All right. Do I see any more questions? Okay, this one here. Can the validator node transfer from seller to buyer be done over BSC or only over the Vitruvio RC1 mainnet? Everything we are doing now, when it comes to the swapper, is all on mainnet, right? The only reason even the booster sales are on BSC and Ethereum is because we don't have a bridge yet. So, but and the token yet, but all the transactions are on chain. So this is happening on mainnet. Here we go. She posted the thing there. So let me pull that up in my browser, and then I'll share my screen. Let's see. How do I copy this? How do I copy this? Well, I can just. I'm gonna pull it up here. It's pretty cool. Yep, I got it. Okay, so let's add my screen back as soon as it comes in. There you go. Bam, there we go. That's so cool. So there's Borg half and half pop culture, and she's rose to the challenge, made some pretty cool artwork as a result. So I love it when people, rise to a challenge like that. Not only just do it, but like go beyond, like this is well beyond, right? Like it's so cool. So great job. All right. Let's see. Do you see any more questions?
I guess we could answer this one. Are we in communications for like merch? I mean, we have some third-party community members, that have been stepping up and making merch. But we've had some conversations with some vendors, but we have, it's not necessarily the priority. It's something that we definitely want to find, like when the people we've been talking to could be providers for when we do the merch marketplace where artists can come in and consign. So we've had some early discussions, but we haven't like done a merch run. It's good marketing, and if you come out to one of the events that we're having, like NFT NYC, if we do something there in April, we probably have some merch to give away. But at this time, we're so busy with other stuff. But we've had some conversations. I think it's an adequate answer. What you're saying.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to realize how our model is, right? Our model is that there's on-chain licenses for print, for example. So anyone can go and aggregate and see what are the artworks that are available for printing, and there's going to be an API. You can just grab it and use it. So I'd like to have this model where we are not we I mean, as the sort of protocol owners, if you will, managers, um, doing everything. The community, like any entity, any organization that has print capabilities, can step up, see and query what's available, and start using it. So it's open. That's kind of the model we are trying to get at. Of course, we're going to spend our resources most efficiently on marketing and promoting that capability, because you got, like anything else, it's a flywheel, right? You got to get that flywheel going, and we'll do that. We will definitely do that.
I mean, if you go back, I mean, you must have joined late, but there is a slide in the download this week that compares the two.
Yeah. Also, I think people want an even more detailed one, which I had committed to doing. So it looks like this weekend I'm going to be a little busy making some comparison tables and calculators and such.
Just get that white paper done first, okay, Nick? Just get that. Just for me.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
There's a question on licensing. Let me just handle that one and then go. So John says, will there be any software to track use or expiry of license use of an image? Yeah, so we are actually the first protocol that is going to tokenize licenses. So when an artist consigns their artwork to Vitruvio, that's just the uploading of the artwork. It goes on chain, etc. There's the metadata that goes with it. But the most important and exciting part for me is the fact that an artist can create licenses. So they can create an NFT license, they can create a print license, they can create a stream license, and each of those are different licenses that give different rights to owners. One of the key things here is someone who wants to print your artwork on a shirt does not need to have an NFT. They just get an on-chain tokenized license to do that. Someone who wants to bundle your artwork into stream also doesn't need to do have an NFT. It's the license is how things are paid for. Now, initially, we don't plan on having time limited licenses. Those could come. See, we've made the licensing architecture flexible, so we can keep adding license types in the future. So initially, they're all perpetual licenses. So someone gets a tokenized license, boom, it's perpetual. They have it for forever. But later on, I think we can have licenses that expire. But the challenge with expiring licenses is that the seller, the artist, has this expectation that somehow, their content will be blocked or retracted or something like that. And technically, that's not very feasible. Then you get into things like, DRM, digital rights management, and encryption and all that. It gets complicated very, very quickly. So we're not ready to cross that bridge right now, but we will. This was especially true for things like music, etc., where we might, or movies. So when we start tackling that, we will add those capabilities. But right now, everything is kind of perpetual. So Dolores here also has a question. How can we create multiple wallet accounts within one wallet to receive one Vitruvio Dreamers NFT for each Nifty Dreams NFT if we hold 5? Okay. Yeah. So you would need to have 5 wallets for that because you would only have one Vitruvio or Dreamer NFT possible per wallet. So yeah, within one wallet, you can have multiple of different types. So within the same wallet, you can hold a nexus, a validator, a steward, a dreamer. These are all the different types of NFTs you're going to have. A trooper. We were talking about troopers earlier today. So team members are troopers. So a trooper NFT and so on and so forth. But you cannot have 2 of the same kind in the same wallet. And this also goes for validators. You cannot have 2 validators in a single wallet. And I think there's quite a few people actually in that situation. And so note to self, talk to Baron and come up with a way to resolve that, because they do need to spread them out across multiple wallets.
There's this one. Is there a chance of seeing the white paper next week? Yeah, I mean that's probably
Yeah.
tomorrow.
The draft, I intend to release it today. I'll probably still tweak it a little bit, maybe, but you can even look at the draft. But yeah, absolutely, 100%. You can see that. All right. So it's an hour. I got to go back and work on this white paper now. So speaking of white papers and all that, so I'm gonna say bye on this last episode here. Thank you so much for everyone who join us every week here, ask these questions. Thank you for all your support, especially with the boosters. And just have a great New Year's. Thank you very much,
guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye.